everyone, let's talk supplementary vote, and if you're going through this chronologically, you'll know that this is the last one we have to look at, so happy days. After this we can get on with the evaluation. So we have to this point looked at proportional systems that are designed to deliver an outcome that reflects the input, and we looked at the AMS, and we looked at the single transferable vote, and we looked at closed list. Well, now we're going to look at majoritarian systems, excuse me. And obviously the supplementary vote is the one that we have used in the UK. So we know that the result is not proportionate. The first past the post result is not proportionate, and so we use these ones here to deliver a proportional outcome. We also know that more people voted against the winner than voted for the winner. So what we're looking to try to do now is to try to find a system that delivers an outcome for which more people voted than didn't vote or voted against. Even as I say that, I realize I'm not clear, and speaking of not being clear, the system is responsible for the deep vein of comedy unclarity that is Boris Johnson. So how do we wind up with him? Well, as I said, the big problem is that more people vote against the government, more people vote against the winner than vote for it. Now, what does that mean? At a micro level, that is at a constituency level, what happens is the MP is elected with less than 50% of the vote. The number of MPs elected on less than 40% of the vote has doubled between 2005 and 2010, what you can see there. And here are some statistics, perhaps the most remarkable of which is this one. So we've got an MP here from Belfast South, and obviously 75% of people voted against Alistair MacDonald, and there he is their MP. So that's at a micro level, at a constituency level. At a macro or national level, the situation is the same. And no party has come close to more than 50% for at least 40 years. And this is some example of that. Now, the fact that it leads to these weird figures here is about the proportionality of the system, so we're not really interested in that. What we're really interested in is the fact that ever since here really, no party has been a clear winner in the national election. More people have voted against the winner, be it Conservative or Labour, all the way down here. More people voted against it than voted for it. And that just seems to be a bit weird. So the supplementary vote is a way of getting around that. How does it work? Well, each voter gets two preferences. They've only got one vote, but they've got two preferences. And if there's no clear winner after the first round, the two leaders go into a runoff with the losing votes being reallocated according to preference. Just chuck in at this point Mrs. Thatcher's link here. This was used in the 1990 Conservative leadership election. And as I say, when we do this, Mrs. Thatcher never lost an election. The problem was that in the first round she didn't get over 50%. And as Prime Minister, that kind of made her position unsustainable. So she resigned as leader of the Conservative Party, having failed to see off the challenges in the first round. She resigned, there was a further election, and John Major won. So this is what it looks like. You get a piece of paper like this, and you put your first, I'll vote for her, and I'll vote for him, and that's it. So it's a fairly straightforward system from the point of view of the punter. When we look at London in 2012, it worked out like this. First candidates, first preferences. Well, quite clearly, no one's got an overall majority, no one's got more than 50%. And so all of these votes here get chucked back into the mix, and they're reallocated on the basis of their second preferences, and that gave us this outcome. So clearly, here we've got a clear winner in the shape of Boris. He's crept over that 50% mark, and hurrah. This is what it looks like in numbers, just really looking at the same data a slightly different way. But even at this point, you can see that there are some problems with it. This is not 50% of all of the votes, because some of those votes have been wasted. If you voted Liberal Democrat and then you voted Jenny Jones for Green, your vote went into a bin. So this is a majority of the ones carried through into the next stage, but it's not really a total majority of all of the people who voted. We can see here that's nearly 200,000. That's 100,000. That's another 100,000. However many that is, that's getting up towards about 500,000. Actually, it's nowhere near that, but never mind. The point is that a lot of the votes do go into the bin, and as a result of which, that is a contrived majority. It's not a genuine more than 50% of the votes cast. Same again in 2008. We see exactly the same. Yes, he's got 1 million, however many there, so everyone's very happy, but that's not really a full 50% of all of those people who went out and voted. It's really just a contrived majority. But I suppose it's a majority nonetheless, and we have a clear winner who is in a contrived sort of way supported by more than 50%. As I said, however, some votes are still wasted, and it's that contrived majority. But perhaps the biggest issue with the supplementary vote is that it disadvantages third parties. The easiest way to show that is probably with an example. Now, this is 2000, the mayoral election in 2000. Here is the 2004, 2008, and there's the 2012, sorry about that. And what we can see here in each of these, this slice of the pie for the also-rans gets smaller each year because people realize that voting, certainly for these guys first, is a waste of time. It just consolidates, it actually accelerates the race towards a two-party state if we use the supplementary vote, because it reduces the value of these particular votes. People realize that these votes are really going to be wasted, and it's going to be a runoff between the two big boys. And so the supplementary vote, and indeed the AV, the additional vote, tend to disadvantage third parties and accelerate the charge towards a two-party state. And that's it. Hopefully that was nice and straightforward. I look forward to answering your questions. Do bring them along. And we've got a test coming up, so make sure you do some revision. See you soon. Bye now.